What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to part 3 of my series about why you stayed or why did you stay with a narcissistic or toxic person. Part 1 was about religion. Part 2 was about fear, and part 3, today's part, is going to be about guilt. Guilt can keep you in a toxic relationship with a narcissist. Is another reason a lot of people stay. Another reason a lot of people decide that they don't want to leave. Because narcissistic people weaponize guilt. You ever get stabbed by a guilty knife? Narcissists will take your guilt, take your fear, take your empathy and weaponize it against you. They'll make you feel guilty about leaving. They absolutely will. You want to leave? If you tell them that you want to leave, if you tell them that you're unhappy, they'll make you feel guilty by threatening to unalive themselves. They'll make you feel guilty by threatening to abandon the kids and things like that. I'm going to abandon these kids. If I can't have you, I don't want these kids. If I can't have this, I don't want to do that. You see how that works right there, y'all? Narcissists and toxic people, they are trying, look, y'all. They want you to feel guilty. This is the thing right here, y'all. It is not your guilt. Because if you want to leave them, if you try to leave them, they will start opening their mouth and saying things to you like, well, go ahead and leave me like everybody else does. They'll say things like that to you. Go ahead and leave. Everybody else leaves me. Why shouldn't you? Everybody else has left me. Go ahead and do the same thing that everybody else has been doing. Everybody gives up on me. Everybody gives up on having a 2-parent household. Or everybody gives up on having a healthy relationship. Everybody gives up too early. Blah, blah, blah. You don't give a person time to grow and time to become who they need to be. Y'all, how much damn time do you got, y'all? Oh goodness. I just felt did y'all follow me? I felt that rant bubble to the surface. It's about to come out right now, y'all. It is not your guilt, y'all. They have been treating you terribly for X amount of time, but the time period is irrelevant. Some of y'all have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years in this. How much more time do they need to treat you good? It is not your guilt for picking you don't feel guilty about picking you, choosing you. They don't feel guilty about hurting you, doing whatever they've done to you, emotionally abusing you, physically abusing you. They don't feel guilty about that because you stay. If you stay, they don't feel guilty about doing anything to you because they think you're okay with it. And no, I'm not saying that you are okay with it. I'm saying that's how they think. That's how they feel. They feel like you are okay with their behaviors because you stay. So they have no guilt because they put it onto you. Why are you? So I understand. I'm not trying to come off as victim blaming, but you don't need to feel guilty about picking you. I'm going to go to unalive myself. You know what unalive means? I know I have to say it like that because, YouTube and TikTok or whatever, they, censor videos. If you say, the SUIDI, I can't spell it right now. SUICI word, they censor the videos. They, don't put them out. But so if they would threaten to unalive themselves, you don't want to have the guilt of somebody, jumping off a bridge on your conscience. Like, look, if you leave me, I have no reason to live. I'm going to go jump off the Empire State Building. I'm going to go jump off the bridge. I'm going to walk into traffic. I'm going to run my car into a tree. I'm going to put a weapon in my mouth. I'm going to slit my wrist. They're going to threaten to do this type of stuff, y'all, to make you feel guilty. It is not even real guilt. This is like possible future guilt. This is not even the current guilt. You're going to feel guilty in the future because you didn't give me a chance right now. You don't feel guilty when I'm not here anymore. When I'm floating above to the angels and watching down on you, haunting you for the rest of your life, you're going to feel guilty. My ghost, when I do this to myself because of you leaving me, my ghost is going to haunt you. It's going to make you feel guilty for the rest of your life. How about that? Casper the ghost in your life right there. It is not your guilt. And narcissistic people use guilt to keep you there. I felt guilty about splitting the family up. I felt guilty about leaving them by themselves. I felt guilty about not giving them enough time to change, to become the person that they want. You know what typically happens when you give a narcissist more time to change, more time to become a better person? They leave you. They take all that time you've been giving them and leave you. And go become a better person for somebody else original off the gate initially. They do that, y'all. I feel like a lot of people don't see that coming, but it happens so much. It absolutely happens so much, y'all. And I want people to realize it and understand it. That you have to be strong and stand in your truth, because if you don't, who will? If you're not picking you, if you're not choosing you, who will? They're not giving you what you need. They're not giving you what you deserve. They want to make you feel guilty about leaving. That's what they give you. They give you guilt. They give you guilt. You give them love, they give you guilt. You give them affection, they give you guilt. You give them kids, you give them, you give them a good life. You give them everything. You give them your being, your heart, your soul, your empathy. They give you guilt in return. They give you the guilt. They make you feel guilty, y'all. It is not your guilt, though. It isn't. You don't feel, narcissistic people, we want to make you feel guilty about choosing yourself. We'll make you feel selfish about picking you. Wow. That's selfish as hell of you to pick yourself over this family. I don't care if I cheated 125 times. There are people out there who've been cheated on 150 times. You should be lucky. You should be lucky I've only cheated on you 125 times, not 150. I should just keep cheating. Matter of fact, I am. Even if you stay, I'm gonna keep cheating. But you're selfish for picking you. Guilt, selfishness. Yo, they deflect it onto you. Narcissistic people, I know people are going to ask, like, well, do narcissists ever feel guilty? Narcissistic people like myself, we feel guilt on a spectrum. My therapist asked me that, y'all. I've said this before. My therapist asked me, she's like, describe how you feel guilty. Describe guilt to me. I said, I feel guilty in a moment, but then something in me, it's like my mind automatically makes me push it on to somebody else. It makes me blame the other person for my actions. So I don't feel guilty in the moment. I don't feel guilty anymore. She's like, Damon, my name is Damon. She's like, there's not guilt. That's the spectrum of guilt. You don't feel guilty. She's like, you blaming them. You blaming them for your actions. That's not guilt. What is that? That's definitely not guilt. I don't know what that is. She's like, that's a spectrum of guilt. You don't feel guilty about the stuff that you do to people because they tolerate it. So if they tolerate it, you think they deserve it. You know what I mean? You think that they are okay with it. My therapist is the bomb. I know people are going to ask me, like, well, can your therapist help other people? My therapist works for me. She's the best therapist for me. Like Ben Taylor at Raw Motivations, his therapist works for him. Like if we were to switch therapists, it might not work out for us. You know what I mean? But like, I just happen to find the perfect therapist on Psychology Today. Go on Psychology Today, find you a therapist that deals with narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic abuse, or, helping you heal from a narcissist. If you're a narcissist, same thing. Find somebody to help your ass out too. But like, it just like, y'all, it's not your guilt. I'm trying to help y'all relieve the guilt, get rid of it, shake it off, shake it off like you're doing a Harlem shake, like you're shaking your shoulders free. Shake it off. It's not you, y'all. It's okay to pick you. It's okay to choose you. Don't let this person make you feel like a turd. They'll make you feel, narcissistic people will make you feel like a bad person for picking you. We'll make you feel like you're a damn pariah or you're the devil for choosing you. Wow, I never thought you'd be so damn selfish, you devilish ass bastard. You gonna pick you? Wow. You really gonna pick you? Yikes. And all I ever try to do was love you and change for the better for you. And you gonna choose you. Wow. I guess you live and you learn, right? Everybody's not who they pretend to be. I thought you said you loved me, you cared about me, but apparently you don't love and care about me enough to stay and fight through it. You don't want to fight for us. Yeah, when people ask you, when people say that to you, when people say, oh, you don't want to fight for us, you're not going to fight for us, ask them this question. How do I fight for us? Do I have to fight you? Because I'm trying my hardest. You're the person who I'm having a problem with. So your behaviors are causing us the issue. So how do I fight? Do we need to square up and put the boxing gloves on? How do I fight? How do we fight? How do we do this? You know what I mean? Ask yourself that question. Ask them that question. Who am I supposed to be fighting? You? Question mark. How do I fight for us? How do I fight for this relationship? Because you're the one whose behaviors are destroying us. And y'all, and guess what? The narcissist is going to say, you've been staying this whole time, so I didn't think you were having a problem with it. Try to communicate that with me, and we would get better. It doesn't work that way, y'all. You can't communicate with a narcissist. Y'all know communication doesn't work with narcissistic people. It just doesn't. You need to try to communicate better. That's what a therapist will tell you. Try to communicate better. I tried. It doesn't work. So don't feel guilty, y'all. I know a lot of people want to, a lot of people want to, try to, a lot of people want to try to, just a lot of people want to try to, exhaust all options before leaving a toxic relationship. You want to, like, we haven't tried therapy. We haven't tried this. We haven't tried that. Y'all, you can try everything. You can try literally throw everything at the wall and nothing will stick for a long period of time. You might get temporary change, but long-lasting change with narcissistic people typically doesn't happen unless they're willing to work on themselves for the rest of their lives and alter their behaviors around you. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much, y'all. I'm tired today. It's a long day. Family don't feel good. But thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Like and subscribe for more. Part 4. I don't know what part 4 is, y'all. If y'all like this series, let me know. It's not getting a lot of views, but it's okay. Part 4 is going to be children. Why you stay. Part 4 is going to be about children. Part 1, religion. Part 2, fear. Part 3, guilt. Part 4, children. 5, money. 6, love. 7, the story you tell yourself. And 8, believing that they will change. Those are the main reasons that people stay in narcissist toxic relationships, as according to Dr. Romney in her book, Should You Stay or Should You Go? Stay tuned, like and subscribe, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Peace.